Hello, and thank you all for joining me today on Parker's POV Show. Today, I have an opportunity to bring you some more useful information. Life insurance. The unfortunate part about our reality is COVID-19 has left us in a pandemic that many people are having to deal with the issues about life insurance. Well, today I have an expert, someone easy that we can talk to and ask our questions. I'm here today with Demetrius Barbee. She is the owner of Demetrius Barbee Insurance Agency out of Chicago. I know that you'll agree that it's a pleasure to have an opportunity to meet with her today. She's a State Farm representative out of Chicago, but we know that we're nationwide, right? Thank you all for welcoming Demetrius Barbee to our show today. How are you, Demetrius?
I'm doing fantastic. Good afternoon, everyone, and Happy New Year. I cannot believe we are already 23 days into the year of 2022. I'm super excited to be here. It's really cold in Chicago, but it's a beautiful snowy day, and I'm excited to be here to answer your question about life insurance, the dreaded life insurance that oftentimes people don't want to discuss because it hit homes. It talks about our mortality. So we definitely want to answer your questions around that.
Yes, thank you. You know, Demetrius, when we talk about life insurance, you're right. We have to deal with that thought process of death, you know, but we know it's critical. The unfortunate part about it is myself. I have a family member, a loved one, very dear to me in the hospital right now with COVID. And it's very scary to think about a loved one passing. Mm-hmm. But the last thing you want to have to worry about at that moment is, do they have life insurance? What would I do? What would my family do if something happened? So this discussion today is to help us understand what life insurance is all about. Because I'm going to tell you, when on the outside looking in, you know, there's so many different options and I rarely know what to do. But the first question always comes to my mind, like, how do we know how much coverage that we actually need?
Well, that's a great question. I just really want to let you know that you and your family are in my prayers, in regards to your family member that's in the hospital due to COVID. We've all had family members in the hospital, because of COVID, or friends, or, close relatives, or just, people, acquaintances. And our heart always goes out to those people, who have COVID. COVID, is not something that is embarrassing. Oftentimes it seems like people's like, oh, I don't want to say that I have COVID. You know what? It's a reality, right? And you don't do anything to get COVID. It's a pandemic, that's occurring all over the world. So again, there's no shame in, having had COVID. So again, you and your family and all the families out there who have members and friends that they know who are experiencing COVID, we pray for them and we pray for a speedy recovery. So when you ask the question, how much coverage do you need and how do you determine that? Well, there are a lot of factors that go into that. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is, what is the purpose? Why do you want to leave the life insurance? And so you want to think about, is it because I want to make sure that my family, I'm leaving them, a blessing and not a burden, meaning that I'm paying for my own funeral expenses? Or is it that in addition to that you want to leave an inheritance so that your loved ones who were counted on you and depended upon your salary, to help them meet their daily living expenses, their daily needs, food, groceries, a car, education, things of that nature, so that you can make sure that they stay in the style that they've grown accustomed to? Is it that you want to also leave them an inheritance, meaning that you want to leave a generation better than what you found it? And there's a life needs analysis that we go through, but those are the things, that you want to ask yourself to help determine, what your needs are in terms of life insurance. And then also you want to know, so how much money do I earn? What is my income right now? When do I want to retire? You look at all those things. So we do a needs analysis and we ask you a number of questions to help determine what that would look like, to determine what your death beneficiary benefit should be.
That's interesting. You should say that, because it does count to salary, doesn't it? So
absolutely.
I think a lot of people may miss that opportunity and understanding. Especially when you talk about small business owners that are considering the fact of taxes, and they're doing taxes, but the salaries that they report, and just having a salary actually is a very big benefit for you when you're trying to get approved for higher amounts of life insurance.
Absolutely. So if you're a small business owner, then you would want to get key man insurance. So that means
Okay.
that if something happened to that individual who is the owner, the CEO of the small business, then that business would be able to continue. Or if you had salaries, you certainly would be able to leave that so the business could continue to operate. So that's a way. And usually you would also, we always say you need to consult a tax advisor, but your death benefit, the beneficiary benefit, it goes usually passes tax free.
Oh, okay. That's why we need an expert like you on our side. Um, so I always hear about, people that, would love to have like $1 million of life insurance policy, or 2 million, And so, is that similar to income? I mean, you can't just pay your way into that. You have to be approved through your income. Is that
Well,
how that
you have
works?
to be approved. It's really, it's not necessarily your income. It's really, of course, your ability to pay always plays into it, but it really is about your health. So when you
Okay.
talk about $1 million policy, then you would have to go through a life exam. And so typically they come out, they do your vitals and things of that nature. You would have to answer the questions. Oftentimes people say, "Oh, Demetrius, I want to get life insurance on my cousin, or not my cousin, but my brother or my sister-in-law." And do they have to sign for it? Of course they have to sign for it. You can't get life insurance without someone's permission, because if that's the case, people would just call up, take life insurance out on anybody. You have to have an insurable interest and then just get it. And people would do unscrupulous things, right? So the individual who you're taking life insurance out on, they always have to sign for it. And then there always has to be an insurable interest. Why do you want to insure this person? What is the connection? But to the $1 million policy, yes, you can get those kinds of policies. It also will be very contingent on what your health is. A lot of times people call and they say, "Oh, you know what? We've talked to people about life insurance before." And when they get sick, well, the time to get life insurance is long before you get sick. You want to get it while you're young, while you're healthy. And the reason being is that the younger you get life insurance, the less expensive it is, meaning your monthly premium cost. And then the higher you can get in terms of your death benefit, because you have time and you have health on your side.
Well, that's good to know. And that's good encouragement and information for our younger audience that
Mhm.
needs to understand that life insurance is not for, when you get sick or you're older. This is something for now when you're young and healthy. Well, I heard about this only recently. I know there's so many different life insurance policies. All we
Mhm.
hear about is term and whole. What's the difference? Just help us. What's the difference in term and whole, and how do you know which one is better for you if you're like, say, in your 40s?
Okay. So that is an absolutely great question. We get that all the time. And what I tell people is the best life insurance is whatever life insurance you have in place at the time of your demise, right? So it's whatever you have. But if you're going to do some thoughtful and proactive analysis on it, let me tell you the difference between term and permanent. Term life insurance is the simplest life insurance. It's you get life insurance for a specific amount of time, and then the insurance or the carrier, we give you insurance for your life. So
Mhm.
very similar. So let's say in State Farm, we have life insurance policies, term life policies that are 10, 20, and 30-year policies, meaning that we insure your life for that specific period of time, either 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years at a specific premium. So that premium will never change for the duration of that particular time period. And in exchange for that, you have life insurance for that specific time frame.
Mhm.
So one of the things about term life insurance is that it's usually less expensive. It is very less expensive than permanent life insurance because you have it for a specific amount of time. And a lot of people like it because you get the optimum amount of death benefit for that. So
Mhm.
your beneficiaries can get a higher benefit upon your death because it's term life. Does that make sense?
Mhm. I
Okay.
understand. Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so it's like renting an apartment. If you rent an apartment, you have it for that specific time. They give you,
Mhm.
you have the apartment, you can stay there for a year. And then after that, whatever that term is, then you have to go on and you renew or you do something else. So a lot
Mhm.
of people do like that. Permanent life insurance is insurance that you have for the duration of your lifetime, as
Mhm.
long as you continue to pay the premium. So
Mhm.
you get it at what, let's say you start out and you're 20 years old and you want to get a whole life or permanent life insurance. So permanent life insurance is various types, but we'll talk about, the whole life. So if you get permanent life insurance in the way of whole life, you lock it in at a low premium because you're 20 years old and maybe you don't have any health issues. So you lock it in at that price, and let's say your premium is $30 a month. That
Mhm.
premium will remain at $30 a month for the lifetime as long as you pay it, and it will never change. So let's say you're 20 and now 50 years have passed, you're 70 years old, you're still paying only $30 premium for that insurance. And then it's building in cash value, it's building in its living up benefit. And then you also have, it builds in dividends, and you also have the opportunity to borrow from it.
And see, that is a very important thing. A lot of people don't know is life insurance policy, such the one that you were speaking, a permanent one, can even be a collateral, right? Is that what it is? Or
Absolutely. It's
collateral
an
on a
asset. It's
loan?
an asset.
It's an asset, yeah, to help you be approved. Because we're always trying to understand why are other people that come from other countries or whatever, they're able to open this hotel or this big old restaurant, build it from the ground up. Well, these are additional ways to prove asset and worth, and it can be used to help you leverage you to be approved for a higher amount on a loan.
Absolutely. And the other thing I will say to you is that oftentimes, people call and they want to have, they say, my mom or my dad, they don't have any life insurance, and they want to leave us, an inheritance. But, they haven't earned a whole lot of money. And we understand that everybody's been, in that particular situation. What we recommend is that if your parents aren't able to afford it, then the kids get together and get the life insurance on the parents, and you guys pay the premium, and then that way whatever you want the beneficiary benefit to be, you guys split it.
Mhm.
If you can come together, as a family. We have lots of customers, who actually do that. And it's a very smart thing because oftentimes, our parents, maybe they weren't taught the fundamentals about life insurance or the importance of it. And then this way they can leave their children an inheritance, even though you have to have a stake in it, meaning, you take the premium and you divide it amongst your siblings, and then whomever, is the responsible one pays it and everybody reimburses them. But that's one way, of getting it done. But what we say is that there's never a better time than now to get life insurance. You're
Right.
never too young to get
Yes.
life insurance.
I thank you for that scenario where people can understand they can work as a family to
Yes,
help build the legacy of their family and coming
absolutely.
together. That unity is a message that we try to preach, that unity in action and coming together as a family, having the needed discussion about life insurance and making a plan together. Demetrius, it's been such a pleasure to have you today. The best part about this Parker's POV show and you at Unity in Action Magazine News, we're going to be able to bring you updated, more conversations on life insurance throughout this year. And we're excited to have Demetrius Barbee, again, insurance agency in Chicago area, but we service all of Illinois, right? That's
Yes,
right.
we service all of Illinois and Indiana as well.
Yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Well, you're going to be my agent, and I hope that you guys also agree to get in touch. Demetrius Barbee, if you need any more information, please feel free to reach out. As you see here, the contact information. Demetrius, did you want to leave the audience with any more information about how to reach you or anything?
Oh, absolutely. You guys can reach us via phone at 773-363-3866. Again, 773-363-3866. Or you can visit us online at barbieinsurance.net. And Barbie is spelled B as in beautiful, A is in Apple, R is in Robert, B is in beautiful, double E is in excellent, insurance.net. We'd be happy to give you guys a free quote.
Well, thank you guys so much. All right, we'll see you guys next time. As usual, Unity in Action Magazine, Parker's POV Show. We just try to bring you something, real talk, real issues, and real solutions. Today, we brought you a solution on life insurance. Make sure you take care of your family too. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank God we have the tools to defeat COVID. We must work together to save lives and get things back to normal. We can vax, mask, test, and social distance to help protect our community. Together, we have the tools to get through this, and we will. We must love thy neighbor to defeat COVID. Have a safe holiday.